Love this podcast? Support this show through the Acast supporter feature. It's up to you how much you give, and there's no regular commitment. Just hit the link in the show description to support now.
The market's uncertain, revenue's tight, and hiring on hold. That's why results-driven companies are using Upwork to keep work moving. Go to Upwork.com today and start hiring proven freelance talent fast. No bulky overhead. No rigid long-term contracts. Just the right expert right when you need them. Work smarter and faster with Upwork. Go to Upwork.com now and find your freelance expert. That's UPWORK.com. Post a job for free and get started today.
Trimble is the technology company that connects your physical and digital worlds so industries like transportation and geospatial can get hard work done faster than ever. Every day brings new challenges, decisions, adjustments, real-time moments that matter. With Trimble on your team, you're in command of purpose-built tech ecosystems and connected solutions that keep work flowing end to end. Turn data points into decision points, deadlines into finish lines, and possibilities into profits. Check out what Trimble can do for you at Trimble.com. Because with Trimble, you can act smarter, move faster, and lead with confidence. Trimble, confidence at every turn.
I think you should have your middle name should be Turbo John.
It sometimes is when I go to the toilet.
Right, should we jump into the podcast?
Yes.
Britain, an ancient kingdom with legends of violence, cruelty, and torment in its blood. Join your hosts, Ross, John, and James, as they bravely tread where few would dare. Witness their journey into the horrific history of British horror. They are the General Witchfinders.
Ladies and gentlemen, goblins and ghouls, we have been reassembled. All three of us are back. Welcome to the 62nd episode of the General Witchfinders podcast. I'm James in Bournemouth in southern England.
I am John Pountney, and I am still here in South Wales, which is still in the south of Wales, but I have recently been to other places in England.
Oh. He deigned us with his presence. And I'm Ross in Dorchester in southern England, and this time we succumb to the plague of the zombie.
On the show notes it says Prague of the Zombies.
Oh, sorry.
Prague of the Zombies. That's the remake.
Brought to you by dyslexia.
No, not good.
Communist.
I was taking a fucking
remake.
picture of it.
Yeah. Prague of the Zombies.
This coach is bound for a terrifying destination. Dead. But no corpse can remain at peace in this village of the undead, this land of the zombies. In this place, no one is safe. No one can hide from witchcraft, superstition, and fear. Even Sir James Forbes, the clear-headed man of science, was forced to accept the horrifying facts.
Young Martinus also says that he saw something on the moors, something that he insists was his brother. But we know that his brother is dead. We also know that he is not lying in his coffin. Someone in this village is practicing witchcraft. That corpse wandering on the moors is an undead, a zombie.
A place dominated by men without morals, whose bloodlusts are excited by hunting a human quarry. When Sylvia Forbes hated the young squire, it was dangerous. But when she fell in love with him, it was lethal.
I want to say from the outset, if you two don't give this 6 out of 5, then I'm not doing any more episodes.
Oh, okay. The Plague of the Zombies went into production at Bray Studios on the 28th of July 1965. It was filmed back-to-back with the Reptile, which we covered on episode 19, and the two even shared the same Cornish village set, designed on the backlot by Hammer's regular production designer Bernard Robinson.
Genius.
Both films were directed by John Gilling, whose publicity handouts likes to describe, somewhat bizarrely, as a gentleman pig farmer, as well as a filmmaker. Gilling also directed The Shadow of the Cat and The Mummy Shroud for Hammer. The script came from Peter Bryan, who originally joined Hammer in 1948 as a camera operator. He stayed in that role until 1952, then turned to writing, delivering scripts for the studio until 1967, when he left after completing A Challenge for Robin Hood. What title?
Wow, amazing.
That's great. When the film was submitted to the censors, the BBFC insisted on a few trims. One of the more notorious cuts came in the graveyard sequence when André Morell's character decapitates a zombie with a shovel. Hammer originally shot 4 blows, but the board demanded it be reduced to just 1.
Oh, wow.
I think it's more effective with just the one
Just the
swipe
one,
anyway.
Yes. Yeah. Sharp shovel. The Forbes mansion seen in the film is actually Hefferden Hall at Pinewood Studios, perhaps best known to James Bond fans.
Yes! Fucking got it. How many times have I said it's that building in this podcast? And it's not that
Spectre
building.
Island in From Russia with Love.
Yes. Jump cut to building like FRWL.
Yep, there we go.
Yeah, take that, fact fans.
Taken.
We know our stuff on this podcast.
Well, you know,
debatable.
if you keep saying it every time, you're going to get it right at least once.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Was it a stop clock is right once a day?
Twice
a day.
Or twice a day. Try us. Right, okay, so meanwhile, Diane Clare plays Sylvia. She'd been in front of the camera since childhood, starting out as one of the best paid film babies of the 1940s, with uncredited roles in films like The Ghosts of Berkeley Square and The Silver Fleet. By the 1960s, she was taking leads in horror films such as The Haunting, Witchcraft, and The Hand of the Night. She retired from acting in 1968 to raise a family. Interestingly, her entire performance in Plague of the Zombies was dubbed in post-production by Olive Gregg, a South African actress based in London.
So bizarre.
Hammer later brought Gregg back to revoice Ingrid Pitt in Countess Dracula. And in both cases, the original actresses weren't told and weren't especially happy about it.
But it was so obvious that she was dubbed there because every time she spoke, all the background sound just went silent. And then it came back in again.
Yeah. You can hear when she's talking to Servalan when they come to the door, you can hear the acoustics of Servalan's voice in the set. Yeah. But then the other woman is just like, there's no acoustics on her voice. It's very, very odd and weird.
And I was thinking about it while I was washing up today, that they dubbed out women's voices way more than they ever did with men.
Yeah.
And it's such a sexist thing to do, isn't it?
I just don't understand why they did it.
Surely their voice wasn't that bad, was it?
No.
It's almost like this whole thing of men trying to create, I want it to look like this.
Yeah.
This object, this woman, but I want it to sound like this. And they just wouldn't do it as much to men. Unless you're
Maybe she had a really strong
Gordon.
Brummy accent or something like that.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. So
busting that zombie is absolutely busting.
Busting, mate. Right, lovely. Right, okay, so André Morell plays Sir James Forbes on Quatermass. He turned down the role when the BBC mounted the Quatermass experiment and again for Quatermass 2. But he did finally play Professor Bernard Quatermass in the BBC television serial Quatermass in the Pit. When Hammer later made the feature film of Quatermass in the Pit, the role went to Andrew Keir rather than Morell. Beyond Quatermass, Morell was closely associated with Nigel Neal and Rudolph Cartier's work. He played O'Brien opposite Peter Cushing's Winston Smith in 1984. And he was Dr. Watson in Hammer's Hound of the Baskervilles alongside Cushing's Holmes. He later voiced Elrond in Ralph Bakshi's animated The Lord of the Rings, released after his death from lung cancer in 1978. He was also the only Quatermass to appear in Doctor Who on television. Any idea where, John?
Shit, that's got me.
It's a hard one.
I honestly haven't got a clue. Educated guess would say it's a baker. Tom?
No.
Is it not?
Black and white.
Oh. It's a Troughton.
Nope.
He's in a Hartnell.
Yeah.
What one?
The Massacre.
Yeah.
way back then. I don't think you would get that one.
No, historical ones I'm not interested in. That's a totally non-sci-fi Doctor Who that they ditched. They're incredibly boring. That is the same year, I think, as this film.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think I'm pretty certain that was 65, The Massacre. It's about the Huguenots in Paris, I think, off the top of my head.
Just what kids were really into in the 1960s.
That's right, yeah.
The thing is, though, they probably were, because they would get, here's a Ladybird book about the French Revolution.
Yes.
Oh, well, yeah, thanks.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's how radios work, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas, I was quite embarrassed. I took the kids to the National Portrait Gallery and tell us, who's that? And I said, that's Charles Darwin. She goes, who's that? And I'm like, you're fucking 10. But then she was talking about St. Osmond, who's the name of the saint which their church named after, their school's named after.
Yeah.
And she can tell you all stuff about that. And I said, what, you know stuff about a fucking saint, but you don't know anything about Charles Darwin?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Beck goes,
shocking.
Stop.
You're causing a scene in the National Portrait Gallery, Ross.
Yeah. That's
people are
when
trying to
she's
see the
walking
Chandos
around
portrait
with a
of
head
Shakespeare.
She's walking around with a head poking through the canvas of the painting of Charles, £1 million painting of Charles Darwin.
Which I slammed over her head, yeah.
Yes. And then said, you haven't even read Great Expectations.
But the 3D portrait of the Queen is really fucking good.
I think I've seen it.
I take it they've taken down the one that Rolf Harris did of her, of course.
Yeah.
That's gone. Right, okay. Well, meanwhile, back to the scripts. It says, while Andrew Keir, of course, came close, turning up in the Dalek feature film, Daleks Invasion Earth, 2150 AD. Now, Ross has put...
Andrew Keir is in that film.
Yes.
Are we talking about André Morell came close to being...
No, I'm saying that he was the only Quatermass in the TV series, but a film Quatermass was in the film
I
version,
see.
Yeah.
Yes, I get you. Yes.
Now, Ross has put, very tricky quiz time. Morell appeared in 3 films that went on to be nominated for Best Picture Oscar. Can you name them? No. No idea. Lawrence of Arabia?
Something like that. Yeah. Cleopatra, Cleves?
No.
Ben-Hur?
Yes, Ben-Hur's one of them.
Whoa, good. Nice, John.
So another 2 that were up for Best Oscar.
Yeah, and...
Best Picture, sorry.
Yeah, yes.
Flipping heck.
And 2 of them won.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Zhivago?
No.
Oh, this is going to really annoy me.
I can give you 2 clues.
Yeah, give me a clue.
Kubrick.
Oh. Which Kubrick is he in? Paths of Glory, is it?
Nope.
Or the other one?
Barry Lyndon?
Yes, Barry Lyndon. Well done.
Is he in Barry Lyndon?
Yeah, so he's in Barry Lyndon, and you've got Ben-Hur.
Yeah.
The other one.
Oh, the other one. Have we got a clue for that? Because you said there's 2 clues.
Alec Guinness.
Bridge on the River Kwai.
Yeah,
yes.
Bridge on the River Kwai. Well done. Here we go.
Yes.
I was so excited I could hear my own voice echoing back then.
Good film knowledge, gang.
Nice, wow.
These guys, and this is what I always think, and I probably always go on about on this podcast. These guys were mega, mega famous and mega, mega successful in a way that I don't know if film stars are now. Because they turn up in Doctor Who, and then the next week they go and do Bridge on the River Kwai, and then they'd go and do... And I just think their careers were just so exciting and so varied. But then they'd probably go and do rep theatre somewhere for like 2 shillings a week or something.
Yeah.
And I think acting now is quite different. And I think the whole movie system now is very, very, very
you don't get the
different.
chance to be in lots of stuff. And I was thinking about that the other day because I was talking to Beck about something I was listening to about Will Smith. It was about screenwriters saying when they get paid to come in and fix a script, and they said often there's nothing wrong with the script, but what it is the person who's attached to it.
He's an idiot.
Yeah, so they might have like, well, we got the 2 stars. One of them said he doesn't ever want to film anything when he's moving, and the other star said he never wants to film anything when he's sitting down. So how do we fix that sort of thing?
Yeah.
But he was saying like Will Smith gets. Will Smith would have like 3 films he's attached to at a time.
Yes.
And everyone would have to jump through all these hoops for him, all the things he wants to do, and then he'd pick one of them. And
Yeah.
they say sometimes a script
And that
might
would be a flop as well, probably.
Yeah, but they were saying that sometimes a film has been in development for like 20 years. And it's gone through all of these things where it's been fucked around with to like appease one person.
Yes.
And then it gets changed again. And it's no wonder it just turns up a load of rubbish. It never goes back to, okay, let's rewind it back to where it was before Will Smith fucked around with it. No, it just keeps going and going and going.
Yes.
But that made me think about, you know, they have all that fucking around. And then they do one film and then, you know, they might do another one in 3 years' time or something. So if in your lifetime, if you're like a big star, unless you're someone like Tom Cruise, you might end up doing like, I don't know, 8 films or something, mightn't you? Whereas these guys will do 8 films a year.
And everyone saw them and everyone knew who they were because they were either on... People went to the cinema like 3 or 4 times a week because it was so cheap. And it was like 2 films a night. And there was only 2 channels or 3 channels.
Yeah.
And it was like, what's on telly? You've got a choice of 3 things. So it's this guy that you've just seen in a film. So everyone knew who they were.
Yeah, fewer actors around as well, weren't there?
Yeah. And they're probably getting paid a comparative fortune.
Clive Hamilton is played by John Carson. Born in Ceylon, now Sri Lanka, he spent time in Australia and New Zealand before settling in Britain to begin his acting career after national service. According to IMDb, which weirdly has loads of this attached to random characters, Carson was on the long list for practically every male character in Toby's Life Force again. Totally,
he's a brilliant actor.
Someone is going through IMDb and just writing this on every actor they can find. Yeah,
either that or imagine if it was a Witchfinders listener who, like, when they go, like when we go, oh, next time Plague of the Zombies, they have a look at who was in it and then immediately go to their page and add it on.
Yeah,
so they'll just keep doing it. That'd be amazing. I'd love that if that is you out there. So you're a genius. You're a genius. So. He was practically every male character in Toby Hooper's Life Force, which we covered, of course, famously back in episode 39, from Dr. Fallada and Dr. Armstrong through to the Prime Minister, though he didn't get any of them. He did turn up in Doctor Who as Ambril in Snake Dance, as well as in Tales of the Unexpected and Hammer House of Horror.
And
now,
didn't taste the blood of Dracula. Or have you just said that? Did he? No. You were talking about Taste the Blood of Dracula, but he's one of the 3 pedos.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's the subtext of Taste the Blood of Dracula.
Yeah.
He's the one with the drooping moustache. Who isn't Peter Sallis or James Bond's boss.
Yes, correct.
Yes.
Right. With this episode, we completed a Hammer Horror Review hat-trick of the films he was in. Captain Kronos, episode 51. Taste the Blood of Dracula, ding, episode 60, and now Plague of the Zombies. Later in his life, Carson emigrated to South Africa, continuing to work in film and TV. He was survived by his second wife, Luanshia Greer. Have I said that right? Luanshia Greer, once known as Pamela Greer, but then she changed her name to prevent confusion with Pam Greer.
Oh, yes.
The Jackie Brown, Foxy Brown actress of note. She was an actress who later became a television writer, contributing to shows like Dixon of Dock Green, Thriller, and Triangle. Dr. Peter Thompson is played by Brooke Williams, who appeared in films such as Where Eagles Dare, The Wild Geese, and The Seawolves. He was a lifelong friend and advisor to Richard Burton, appearing alongside him in several productions.
I think he was the person who just supplied him with booze.
Amazing.
Yeah, kept him upright.
I'm quite immersed in Burton at the moment for reasons that I can't divulge. But it is the centenary of his birth this year. And I've been spending a lot of time in Pontrydyfen, which is where he was born. I should just recommend, it's totally nothing to do with horror, the film Mr. Burton, which is about his early life, which is very good. We watched it recently. If you like anything about pop culture and film and TV and blah, blah, blah in Britain in the 20th century, I think you'll really like that film. It's very, very informative. And a very good performance from the guy who plays Burton, because that's not a mantle I think anyone would want to really take on, one of the coolest men that ever lived. But so he was big pals with him, was he?
Yeah, he was his bodyguard, driver,
confidant.
Yeah, special advisor.
Amazing. That's great news.
Michael Ripper is here as Sergeant
Yes.
Swift. Ripper is Hammer's most prolific supporting actor, don't we know it? With 33 appearances across their output. He pops up as everything from coachmen and innkeepers to pirates and soldiers. He acted in 7 films with Peter Cushing and 9 with Big Chris Lee, and was one of only 2 actors, alongside George Cole, to appear in all 4 of the original St. Trinian's films. On television, he played Thomas the chauffeur in Butterflies and Mr. Shepherd, Aunt Sally's owner in Wurzel Gummidge, which sounds so weird when you think about it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It sounds too weird. Freaks me out, Wurzel
I don't
Gummidge. It's
remember
all
that
weird.
at all.
Yeah. His final listed role on IMDb was a one-off part in EastEnders in 1995.
Wow.
Then, for a deeper dive into Jacqueline Sutherland Pierce, then go back and listen to our episode on the Reptile, which was episode 19. And finally, for the completists, unfortunately, as far as we can see, no one involved in the Plague of the Zombies went on to appear in ITV's Boone.
Boone. Oh.
Right.
I can't think. Well, they'd all be slightly too old, I think.
Yeah, this is like an early one. So we're right in the middle of the Hammer's 1960s.
Yes. Well,
So
just everyone's 1960s, really,
Yes.
please. Or just the 1960s.
yeah,
as
so
it's-
just before this was Dracula, Prince of Darkness.
yeah.
Then Plague of the
Well,
Zombies and the
this-
Reptile, and
this
then
came out-
Rasputin.
This is the second feature to Dracula, Prince of Darkness, and it is a far, 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 far superior film.
So we start with drumming, very much
Yes.
like the beginning of the Crimson Hood or whatever it's called. Oblong Box.
I love the intro. For me, it's like happy place. Plague of the Zombies is on. I know where I'm going. But what do we see?
So we
It's a voodoo ceremony. It's a voodoo ceremony.
Yeah. Well, I quite like the outfit of the voodoo high priest.
Yes,
Yeah,
it was
because
pretty
it's-
good.
And with the actual blood stains on there, and
Yeah.
I love the sort of the occult symbology on his
Yeah.
on his gown and on his mask. But I wasn't sure about the wispy dreads he's got hanging down.
Has he?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I noticed it. What, like Predator?
Yeah. This is very, and then we got a little morph in a little paper mache
Yes.
coffin, which is he's dripping.
Well, it's balsa wood.
Yeah. And what do you call it? Something gore, was it?
Kensington Gore.
Kensington Gore. He's been
Yeah,
dripped
he's
all
dripping
upon it.
Kensington Gore on it. I think this film. Who's the production designer again, please? Not
Bernard Robinson.
Bernard Robinson. I always want to say Bruce Davidson, who is the writer of Withnell and I think. I think this film looks amazing, considering it's a second feature B movie. It looks fantastic.
Yes.
I think maybe because they shared the costs over
Yes.
2 films, they probably were able to sort of go that extra mile on it. Because I was thinking of some of the sets, the amount of props and set
Yes.
dressing they've done, it just brings it all to life, and it does feel really real.
Well, the set in this is huge. The exterior set. I think it looks better, much better than The Reptile as a film and as a sequence of sets.
Yes.
Because The Reptile, all I can really remember is the house that the people live in,
Mhm.
where the guy comes in from Dad's army and his face has been painted green and he's got like shaving foam coming out of his mouth. And then we're doomed.
Yeah.
And then I can just remember the kind of castle thing that they're in, which is quite forgettable, isn't it, really? Whereas this looks very... I think aspects of this set also were Castle Dracula from Dracula, Prince of Darkness, the exterior walls. But it just... it looks great. So the opening scene you've got... And I tried watching it thinking, I haven't seen this before, so I don't know what's happening or where this is happening. So I think you're meant to think this is...
Or in Africa, maybe.
Yes,
abroad.
that's my original thing was I thought it was great. Like they don't give you any context.
Yes.
Just bang, straight in.
Straight into
Where's this
it.
happening?
You hear the drumming and you see the little things like morph, like Cleaver says, with some toothpicks stuck in them. And then he drips a bit of blood on them. And then...
you see Servalan tossing, turning in bed.
yes.
And,
she's
and it's a
screaming.
man and woman in the same bed, which is probably a little bit risque
The hammer.
I would
just as
imagine
cheap as
so.
that.
Yeah. It's not just Morecambe and Wise in bed together or something like that.
No.
And then basically you have the credits where you're like, this is a
There we
great
go.
cast. Like, imagine having a cast like this to work with today. And then she screams, and then I've got a jump cut to the building like From Russia with Love. Is that right? That's how it goes.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where we go, and we go in and we meet
Sir James.
Sir James, yes. Practicing his fly fishing. Yes.
Yes.
With his
And
daughter.
And I put, he's an amazingly grumpy dad.
I love this scene.
What a protagonist. He's just fucking annoyed about everything for a good 2/3 of the film, which I like.
I don't know anyone in Cornwall.
Cornwall, why should I even bother? Must we? And I thought, I want more angry protagonists. I want more like, oh my God, do we really have to do this?
But he still does a good job of playing that and still being a likeable person.
Exactly this, Ross. This is what I think. And also, he comes across, he's a man of science, isn't he?
Yeah.
That's is that once again, it's superstition versus science, and there's a lot of shade thrown towards the people of Cornwall. More on that in a second.
Yeah,
but
it's bloody miles away.
But then he's just like, these folk believe in superstitious rubbish, superstition. Whereas I am here to talk to you about science and fact, which is great. And if we need more of that now, let's face it.
Anti-Cornish sentiment.
Yes. My dream, which will never happen because everyone's dead, is that they will do more of these films with these two as the protagonists. The father and daughter. I would love Big Finish to do a series, but they can't because they're dead. I think maybe AI is the only way forward for this kind of stuff now.
As even as everyone, if everyone, any semi-regular listeners to this podcast will know that I'm not really a Whovian, but even I saw the thing saying that they've got John Coleshaw to be Peter Capaldi.
Yeah. But I watched the whole video and I was like, when is he? I couldn't work out when he was doing the impression and when he wasn't.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, does Capaldi get paid anything for this? Surely he must get something.
If they use his picture on the front?
Image rights, I would say. But otherwise,
surely someone's, basically outright doing an impression of you.
Yes.
Doing that part. You must get something.
He's already done Pertwee and Baker in Big Finish.
And
which
the
is
Brig.
he's done the Brigadier as well, has he?
Yeah.
I mean, that's obvious why he's done Pertwee and the Brigadier, because they're dead. Obviously, Tom Baker, then they managed to get back. But otherwise, I do think it's quite strange. And is there that much call for this material? I suppose there is.
Yeah.
Wow. Anyway.
Yes, I used to do quite a lot of work for Big Finish, and then it stopped, and then I never did any more, so fuck them.
After the incident, after the TARDIS incident. No, I don't.
What was that?
I don't know. It's just me pissing around.
No, James, there was no incident.
Okay.
John will be there one day as K9 because he is. Like
this is
the voice of
K9.
A legal disclaimer: there was no incident between John Pountney and Big Finish.
I'm sorry.
Recording Limited.
That was me being playful. I'm sorry.
I was trying to think the last time that I was there recently, and I think it was when I did. Mark Gatiss did Dracula. Dracula's Guest, which was really fun. And if that was the last time I was there, that was a really good way to bow out, because I had to also do a horrible woman from Farscape or Babylon 5 or something like that.
Oh, we spoke about her, didn't we?
Yeah. She was absolutely fucking vile. Horrible woman, just disgusting human being. And I'm quite happy for that to go out.
I was going to say,
you have to beat that, Ross.
Yeah, no, it can, because I haven't named her and I can't remember her name or the name of the program she was in. So she was just disgusting. There we are. Anyway, on that bombshell.
Back to the Plague of the Zombies. So a letter arrives.
It's one of his favourite students.
Yes, a letter. Once again, like that classic Hammer thing that Hammer likes to do, like the one when where they had to write to Big ChrisLee, who turns up.
Which one is that? The Gorgon.
The Gorgon, yes,
yeah. So that
the Gorgon, which was written by John Gilling, who directed this film. So it's quite a common trope in Victorian Gothic melodramas to be like, I don't know anything about what's happening, but I've received this letter, and now I'm going to describe to you, dear reader.
I do find when I'm reading any of these short stories out of these Tales of the Weird things, it'd be someone. It starts off someone talking about them getting a letter, which in the letter is someone talking about a time they were told a story about, and it's by someone who was relaying something that happened to a friend of them. And it's just like fucking hell,
Chinese whispers,
just cut all that shit out and just tell us what the original story was.
I love all those stories. Or it's an inheritance where a young man has turned up to a big castle and he's just inherited. It's an uncle he never met, and then some weird shit's going down.
Yeah. But I was just going to say, if any of my former students write to me to get help with that, they are absolutely up shit creek, aren't they? Oh no, I've written to the most useless man in the world.
Yes.
Oh no, he's just made the situation worse.
Just send it back, not known at the suggestions.
I just love the way that he gets called upon because he's basically a knight of the realm.
Yes.
Which means he can do whatever the fuck he wants. And everyone is just like, bows down to him.
Yeah. Well, that's the big subtext of this film, isn't it? That it's class warfare. And I think that's where this film is very ahead of its time. And that's why it works so well. And that's why I love this film. And I'm already giving it 10 out of 5.
It's going up as we go.
Yeah. Their relationship is great. Already at this point, I don't know if it is Panavision, but it looks like Panavision. I think that when I first saw this film, it was probably on VHS. So it was panned and scanned rather than 16:9 format. So to now rewatch this today, I was like, God, there's a lot more going on in this frame than I remember when I was 14, 15, whenever I first saw this film.
Even in the crappy YouTube version we had to watch.
But yeah, exactly. Because
someone's not available on streaming, which is...
I find that bizarre.
Yeah, it's bizarre which ones are and which ones aren't, I think.
Yeah, this one is crying out for a... I'm sure, actually, that this did have a... I've been to see this in the cinema in the past 10, 15 years, a new print of it, and I don't know why that's not available.
They must have done a DVD or something. So maybe it might be one of the new Blu-rays they're bringing out.
Yeah, I bet.
But I think they're going to be going for the Frankensteins now, because they've just released Curse of Frankenstein. So.
Yeah. So then, basically... she reads out the letter, or he reads out the letter, because she says she can't read it because of his handwriting. He mentions the word maladies, which is always a great word, I think, for it's quite a Morrissey word, isn't it? My maladies!
Oh, I've got a malady! I'm a dreadful racist now.
So then she kind of... I think she thinks she's blackmailed him into going. But then the scene works spectacularly because... rather than cutting away from him, it stays on him, and you can see that he's already been intrigued by what's in the letter. And I think that's the Holmesian kind of opening for it, isn't it?
I think it's really good because, like you said, he comes across as someone who's dismissive and grumpy and stuff, but you can tell he actually loves his daughter.
Oh, he's fantastic.
And you can tell that he's actually interested in all this kind of stuff as well. So really well done.
Yes,
and then we cut to the
local scrubs.
Yes, and the coach on the way to Cornwall. And my note is Cornish roads have not improved. Anyone will tell you who lives in Great Britain that if you drive to Cornwall, there are no motorways down there. Well, it's all it's a bloody nightmare.
You have the dual carriageway in, but at any point, if you come off that dual carriageway, you're basically on a cart track, aren't you?
Yes, correct.
The amount of times I've had to reverse into a bush to let someone go past.
See, I'm not joking. That was so. Yes, we see Sir James's coach going across to his destination in Cornwall, and as the guys have said, they run into the hunt is underway. And on my note is toffs. There's some toffs on horseback.
I've said local scruffs because I think I misremembered this scene, but they are meant to be toffs, aren't they? At this point,
yes,
they're fox hunting. They're in the red jackets and all that jazz, and they're just pricks, aren't they?
But they called it the Blood Brothers or something.
Something like that. Yeah, absolute wankers.
Yeah.
So they but then the daughter, Sylvia, is that her name? She fobs them off and says the fox ran that way, but he ran in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
So they bugger off then. And then we come into the fantastic kind of opening Gothic scene for the film, which is this amazing set. I wish it still existed. I would probably move into it if I could. So you've got this
kind of cross between sort of the square in
EastEnders.
Oh, I was going to say Reading Artois. What was it?
Yeah. In a low.
Yeah, or something from Disneyland. It's like Hammer Disneyland, isn't it?
Yes.
Port Marion.
The shape of it is a bit like Albert Square, but in the middle of it, it's got like a sunken graveyard, which I think like nowhere has a sunken graveyard, but it's amazing because it sets up all these brilliant shots that are happening. So basically, they come in a horse and cart a stagecoach kind of thing, and there's a lot of kerfuffle.
There's a funeral taking place, and then the young bloods come in and knock the coffin over the top.
Yeah.
My notes say I put coffin calamity, and I put but you'd get 150 quid for that if on You've Been Framed.
Yeah.
The way that it's shot, like whoa.
Slightly sped up as well.
Slightly sped up, and the coffin goes over the bridge.
Yes.
And the corpse is exposed.
It's amazing. Fantastic.
Yeah. And it's like the horrors.
Yeah, huge crash zoom on the Richter smile of the corpse within.
Yes.
The lolling tongue.
Yeah, it's very, 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 it's great Gothic. It's fantastic Gothic.
Yeah, and then the Randall like brother of the corpse.
Oh God, here we go.
I knew this was coming. Here we go.
One of the Martinus brothers. So he's the local dipshit, isn't he? As you can.
Well, my note says that he's Tom, and I put he's 100% reform voting. Stop the boats, isn't he? That's the vibe he gives off.
Yeah,
he's a peasant.
Yeah. And considering this is set in Victorian times and filmed in the 60s, James, that shows you where these people are kind of
exactly. Yeah, nothing's changed.
Yeah, because he's just like, we don't want you idiots, right? We don't want you. Don't want you curing diseases round here.
Don't we cutting up my brother?
Yeah, so he
needed to be buried, didn't he? Let me tell you something, doctor. He says at one point.
That just sounds like something from Doc Martin.
Wow, not a million miles away.
So there's
he literally is a gap tooth yokel because he is.
Yes. But we've got ahead of ourselves slightly. We need to point out to the listener that what happens is, so then James turns up at the home of his student, who is Peter Thompson, and we're introduced to his wife Alice as well,
Sutherland.
and who's Sutherland, Jacqueline Pearce, and so we get the res, we get the setup. As to what's going on, and then we learn that once again, lots of people are dying in the village.
Doesn't she, James?
Yeah, she's all over the show.
Yeah.
And she says, it's all right. My husband is a doctor at one point, which is a great line. And James is like, well, woman, you make dinner. But what he says is, you stay here and catch up with your friend. I am going to go into the town and find out what is going on.
What the fuck is going on here?
But she basically said, I'm sorry, the house is a mess. And the way the house is a mess is that cupboard doors are open and pictures are askew. It's not a daily thing to go up and straighten the mirror. They put pictures every day and stuff.
It's been a windy day, Cleese. You know what the wind is like in Cornwall?
Yeah. John, so what do you think? Because there's a couple of shots where you see him closing the door going into the house. So do you think they had, do you think this, this was filmed in a studio, wasn't it, in the interiors? But do you reckon they had like a reverse shot of the porch on location? Because I don't think those were back projected, those shots.
I think they probably dressed an interior shot of one room for him to go in and out through the door on location.
Yeah.
But all the interiors would have been done at Bray Studios. But I think the exterior shots were also done at Bray Studios.
So it shows a little bit of, they didn't need to do that. Did they?
No,
that's an extra level of detail they put on.
Often with the early Hammers, up to about 66, 67, when they left Bray Studio, there is a huge amount of care and attention taken with all the sets and the production design and the lighting. After that, they just, any fucking old shit will do. And they're still watchable because they're funny and entertaining, but they're not as good as these ones.
Class.
No, they're not as good as the earlier ones.
So, but we do notice that Sutherland has got a
bandage on her wrist. Yes, we do notice that. So James goes off to the pub, and there's basically bad vibes. So we join the pub where it's Richard Burton's pal and the reform voting
peasant.
Peasant. They're having an argument about the dead brother, aren't they? And all the local yokels start to come in and get quite threatening. And then
basically they're arguing because he's saying I can't cure them because no one would let me do any autopsy to find out what's wrong with them.
Yeah.
And he's just saying, well, you're no good as a doctor because you
can't cure us.
You don't even know what killed him. Yeah.
What he says something like, "What's the point in cutting them up once they're dead?
They're dead."
And it's like, what? What? You want to cut you up alive?
Yeah,
that's quite interesting.
Yeah, we're not going to take it to any vaccines, but we want to be cured from not die from any of the diseases.
Yes.
And once again,
yes. They voted for RFK or whatever they call that
exactly
in America.
Yeah.
So yes, at this point there's a good line from the pub landlord where he goes, "Steady, Tom," which I always, when you watch a film repeatedly, you're always pleased to hear a certain line, aren't you? And that's one of my lines in this where it's like, "Steady, Tom."
Yeah. But it also shows up because that part could have been Michael Ripper, and he would have added 200% more charisma to that. Given that line.
That's the role that he has in the
Gorgon.
Reptile.
Is it Reptile or the Gorgon? I'm getting the Reptile and the Gorgon both mixed up.
The Reptile is the one where Jacqueline Pierce turns into a snake.
But there's also the snake-headed woman as well there. So they're all starting to merge into one.
Yeah. I think that Michael Ripper plays the pub landlord in the Reptile.
Okay.
So, just very, very quickly for the listener, this is the kind of the what we discover at this point is that in this Cornish village there is a posh lord who is
a squire,
Squire Hamilton. And so he lives in the big mansion, and it seems to be that he has got some incredible control over the people of the village. They don't want to seem to cross him, and they all kind of do as he says. And this is my only note of interest other than the normal twaddle that I write. But what I've put is, in many ways, this has got the same DNA as the Wicker Man.
Yes.
Right? In that you've got a superstitious populace in a remote area who are being controlled by a posh lord.
Yep.
I thought that's the same.
But he doesn't sing at them in a kilt.
He does not sing at them in a kilt.
And a character is enticed in to sort out the problem. Yes. And the ending is a fiery conflagration.
Yes.
That's very true. Very true,
Thank you.
James.
Thank you very much.
I hadn't thought of that, but that's very, very interesting. And it's to do with... it's to do with the generation of money, isn't it? Because... The harvest has gone bad in Summerisle, and this is to do with...
And the tin mills stopped working in...
I don't want to do spoilers, because obviously I think the central idea of why there's zombies in this film is like one of the best ideas in horror film history, and I can't believe that this hasn't been remade or that they haven't done this again in some other way.
But I think one of the issues we've got, though, is this type of zombie is very racially
coded now, isn't it?
People they don't make zombie films where it's to do with voodoo and black magic, particularly black people's magic anymore.
No.
And I can remember as a kid, if I'd be like, "Oh, this film's about zombies." Oh shit, it's about like Haitian zombies. Boring. Don't want to watch it.
Because really?
Yeah. Because I always found like that.
I think that backstory makes this one really interesting.
As an adult. Yes, I'm more into it. But as soon as I see people banging drums in a zombie film when I was a kid, it was like, no, this isn't like the type of zombies I want to watch. I want to see zombies who are going to eat people's brains.
I want to see Thriller. I want to see Michael Jackson.
I like the one where the guy pulled out the other guy's eye and he ate it. And that was brilliant. Ross Cleaver, 12 years old, news at 10.
Dorset.
Steady Tom. Smooth. So Sir James Forbes comes in. He chucks him a guinea or something, and they all calm down in the pub. Then don't they? And then they go back.
One
to the
coin,
house.
which is enough to buy a whole pub worth of drinks.
Well, I would say it like a guinea or something.
Gold
like
sovereign or something.
Yeah, or a sovereign, something like that would be like. And then, but that is, one of the subtexts of the film is class warfare. Like the goodie in this is still kind of belittling the working class community. It's such a fascinating film.
And when he says this is Sir
Yeah. And
you
they're
can
all
see
like,
them. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
Man of science has arrived.
Which nowadays you'd all be like, some
Whatever.
fucking bum pinching weirdo that, like the one in Longleat or
Lord Bath.
or the other one that he was arrested yesterday or today for sex assault. He was in I'm a Celebrity in like 2004 or something.
Ooh,
And I just thought, what do these idiots spend their fucking time doing? They've got all this money, but he's got to go around being a fucking sex pervert.
Yeah, we should be putting all that money into like voodoo or something.
Voodoo. What is that from? That is Tom Baker, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yes,
I bought you the Tom Baker DVD science fiction quiz.
And does he say that in
and
there?
one of the questions was about voodoo.
And does he also say Denise Van Outen?
Probably.
Yes. So then we nip over to see the Squire, who I think is brilliantly played by Carson here in one of his best roles, because he plays a bit of a shit fuddy-duddy in Taste the Blood of Dracula.
Yeah.
He's like a semi-comic character, isn't he? Next to James Bond's boss, who is the absolute arsehole, and then Clegg from Last of the Summer Wine.
Yeah.
But what I think is very interesting in this opening scene for the Squire, and this is what I'm trying to remember because I've seen it so many times, he's got a black manservant, and obviously in that era that would be very unusual. So I think that, but it's really subtle. I don't think you see this guy again.
Mm.
And so
you do at the end when they force him to tell them where they are.
Oh, really? Okay. I just think this film does a lot of really subtle things that are really ahead of its time.
Well, there's also, before he leaves, there's a really nice scene where the Doctor and Sir, what's his name?
James Forbes.
Yeah, Sir James are doing the washing up, and the Doctor drops the plate, and because he's nervous.
Yeah,
and he swaps places with him, and then he drops the plate because he's nervous as well. And
that hasn't happened yet, I don't think.
I'm watching it, so yeah.
I wasn't sure if that wasn't a fluff that they left in because it looked quite realistic. It does, but it looks more realistic than someone dropping a plate and acting, doesn't it? And I think it worked really well. So what surprised me then, after that, is that basically Alice is off already, kind of a bit like Pied Piper-ish.
Yes.
She's heard the drums or something because of this cut on her wrist.
Yes.
And we're only 20 minutes in at this point. So
Yeah.
I had kind of misremembered this as her character being in it for longer.
Yeah. I put that she can't resist the lure of the tin mine.
Exactly.
Yes. So basically, there's a hint of some kind of ceremony happening again, isn't there? And the drums.
And she's already been confessed, like how much she fancies the Squire.
Yes,
the Lord,
to her friend.
Yes, he's a very
Sylvia.
handsome man. He's got a lot of money. And he's very well spoken.
And got a very big house. And
He's got a very big house and all this stuff.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake. But I will say at this point also what I really like is the James Bernard, I never know how to pronounce it, the music for this film. I think it's one of his best scores because he uses a lot of unusual stuff for him. And the music's quite atonal, and he's got the drums and stuff. So it's not the usual Dracula, Dracula. It's actually like, it's quite creepy music. And this sequence is very, very good for that, where she turns up at the old mine and then quite inexplicably, really, she must be seeing a zombie, but we haven't seen the zombie yet. Yeah. But she's just got the shadow of the hand on her face.
Yeah, so I thought that would be quite hard to film as well.
Really well done, yeah. It looks really good.
But Nosferatu.
Yes, yeah. Very expressionist cinema. And then
Sylvia's following her, and then the country bumpkin jumps out on her, scares her, and he goes, "I know you, I know you,
I know you."
Yeah.
I know what you've been up to.
That was the Benny Hill music, if you didn't know.
And then she runs away from him, and then the young bloods turn up on their horses and corral her into, and they sort of surround her with the horses and have her braying in her face, and then they managed to manhandle her up onto the back of the horse, which I would have thought would be quite hard to do.
And I've also I've put these toffs have taken losing one fox very, very seriously.
Which again, reform.
Yeah.
James.
And I put this bit is genuinely unpleasant. When they're like sort of grabbing her and pulling her around. I thought, this isn't nice.
Particularly,
I think it's
when they go back to the house and they're cutting the cars to see who's basically going to get
going to rape her.
It's extremely uncomfortable but very well put together with a really palpable sense of menace, which is not to do with horror in Hammer way. It's to do with the horror of basically men and how horrible men are and can be.
Yeah, especially
again,
when they were in a 100% male environment.
When they're in a gang together. And I think that's another thing, again, that this film does, which is quite ahead of its time, that it looks at something like that, these kind of hooray Henrys, rather than just the usual horror, which is a hand in a jug or like eyes following a candle or something. This is like, the horror is these disgusting men. Because at this point, I don't think you've seen a zombie yet, have you?
No, he does see a zombie for quite a long time.
In many ways, these guys are like, they're precursors to the Bullingdon group, aren't they? Or the Bullingdon boys.
Yes. Cameron
and Boris Johnson, and they had a reputation for going into restaurants and like smashing it all up and then just throwing money in and braying with laughter, going,
absolute wankers.
Then, absolutely.
Shafted the entire country. Yes, but I've said at this point, Carson is great because he really...
he comes in and basically, it's like Dracula when the bride of Dracula about to get Harker by... Yeah, how dare you, pushes them away, and he comes to kind of almost like seduce her into like saying,
Does he slap one of them in the face or something? And he's like...
backhands him across the room,
Amazing. Really, really good performance. And then he's very charming to her. But then, is this the point? Does he try and ensnare her at this point with something, or does he kind of let her go?
He lets her go and says to her, basically, he's like, in the middle of doing something, so I can't take you home, but I'll if you want one of the boys to take you back. She said, no, I'd rather walk.
Yes.
And then
can't blame her, really.
And she said, and then I'm going to go to the police. And he said, well, if you go to the police, it will ruin the people in the town. I can't tell you why, but the scandal will upset the equilibrium. So please, for the sake of the people, not for me, don't do anything. And then she just agrees.
Okay. Yeah. Yes.
But he's also got a massive ring on with like the symbol of his sort of secret society on it as well.
Yeah, cool.
Yes.
And, I was thinking, sort of like rich people didn't do that much harm back then when they were just wearing like secret society rings and doing rituals in their basements or building follies and stuff. Go back to doing that rather than buying social media companies. And
they did extract a huge amount of wealth from working class people, Cleve.
Yeah.
Yes.
You've only got to look at R.T. Crawshay in Merthyr and the way that people lived in Merthyr, and he was well known for basically having sexual intercourse with his own daughter. And also, this is the guy with the God Forgive Me on his grave. He was known for having like a posse of men, and he would, like in this film, he would basically go round Merthyr looking for women that he basically wanted to have sex with. But upper class people did horrific things to working class people.
But they had nice rings on.
Yeah, but just not directly in the way now that, we don't have any direct contact with these people, do we? They live in gated fucking mansions in California or somewhere, or fuck knows where Farage lives. Like, imagine, where does he live? I'd be fascinated to know where he actually lives.
In a hole in the ground.
He must surely have like a 24-hour security detail. I think what I found interesting in this film was that it is like, we're just idiots and we're just happy to stay idiots.
Yep.
And that is a bit of a common thread with society today, isn't it? That people have lost that kind of, in the valleys in the 1910s, 20s, 30s, 40s, miners would pay a percentage out of their wages to build theatres, libraries, places, community centres. You can't imagine anyone doing that out of their wages now. They'd say, "That's my money. Why would I give it for someone else?"
Yeah.
And I find that one of the subtexts of this film is that it's like, you know, the good guy comes in to try and save them from capitalism. At the end of that's what this film boils down to, isn't it? Really. And I think that's why it's one of Hammer's most interesting films by far, because it's not just a plot which is A to B to C to D. Like, you know, I was thinking I've probably watched this one the most out of all of the Hammer films. And the second one is Dracula AD 1972, I would say. But that one is such a different film, because that is literally like, this happens and then this happens and then they go here and then this happens and then it's the end. Whereas this film is like, oh,
because you're thinking, yeah.
Oh, I'm really considering what this is actually about. It kind of elevates itself way above even the Reptile, which is slightly colonial as well, or anti-colonial, you know, with it spending time in India and stuff like that. But that one, I think, is got quite racist undertones, and I'm not sure you can say this one has got racist undertones.
And as much as that, there are black characters in it who we don't know anything about them. There's none of them are characters. They are just
Well, yeah. So that's one of the things that I was. I was going to flag up that Lewis Mahoney, who his listing on IMDb just says coloured servant.
Yeah.
Which is like all cancelled, and that's still on IMDb. You know,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So I think it is something where, you know, they are just seen as like set dressing. So I think they. I know again, it's a product of its time, but it is.
But in this film, it does give the slight. That's what I thought. It's got this slightly subtle and quite clever undertone for the time that this guy has lived another, as in the Squire, has lived another life somewhere else. And it's only very vaguely hinted at. And is that to do with slavery? Is that to do with sugar plantations and stuff like that? That wouldn't quite work historically, but obviously, you know.
Well, it's like Vincent Price in the Oblong Box as well, isn't it? Same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. But in this film, it's dealt with in a much better way. Because the Oblong Box is just raving lunacy, isn't it? Really?
Yes.
And then we go back to the mine, where we get the first real big fright of the film, where, for no apparent reason, really, Sylvia has gone past the mine, and then a zombie comes out carrying Servalan, who is already dead, and then does a mad, maniacal laugh, scream.
Yeah, that's why I love that. That's my favourite bit in it. You know,
which I always find absolutely terrifying. And I remember watching it for the first time thinking, that is demented. But then just throws her body. So we're not really sure, and I don't think it's ever really explained. And it is a bit of a plot hole. We don't really know why she's dead.
Yeah. And also, why they're making zombies out of women as well, when we know what they're using the zombies for later on.
I think what I've always thought is that there is only one woman zombie. What they say is all the men, and I think the subtext with this is that basically someone basically wants to have sex with a zombie. I can't really think, besides the fact that they've written a story. And in kind of writing this story, they're like, oh, to move the plot along, I think Jacqueline Pearce is going to have to become a zombie. In the context of the film, why is she becoming a zombie? It's because she's some kind of weird sex slave for the Squire.
Yeah, and and then he wants to make Sylvia into a zombie later on as well. So yeah, that's which is
again, is that something to do with? I don't want to be very postmodern about this, but is that to do with the fact that there's no women of breeding in the village for him?
I think they're the only women in the village. I definitely see any other females at all, do we?
No, right.
I think you kind of do in the crowd scenes when it's the what you call the bloody thing? The first funeral and the second funeral. But I think the squire wouldn't be interested in the kind of conjugal rights of any of those women, would he? He would only want to be with a woman of a certain breeding, which I think does add a real layer of creepiness to the film, that he's like some kind of necrophiliac as well.
But also that he wants a woman which he can ultimately control as well.
Totally control, yeah. She's just a slave.
Yeah.
So it's mental. And it's like, this is Hammer. This is really good stuff for Hammer.
And then we have the two doctors have gone to dig up the body of
Patrick Troughton and Colin Baker.
If only. Sir
Forbes.
Sir James and Dr. Carlson have gone to
young guy.
Have gone to dig up the body of the brother. And there's a really great shot of when they sort of turn around and see the two policemen looking down at them.
Yes, I think that scene is fantastic.
And
it's really
with
well
that,
done.
Enter Michael Ripper, who is playing a
Yes.
copper. He's one of the two policemen.
You just step up here a moment, gentlemen, please.
I realise this looks...
It's a serious charge you'll be on in the morning.
What charge?
Who might this gentleman be?
Sir James Forbes.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. What are you going to charge us with?
Body snatching, I should think, sir.
I see. Well, in that case, I suppose you don't mind if we have a quick look.
I don't care who you are, sir. What's going on, sir?
I don't know, Sergeant, any more than you do.
In maybe his best Hammer role, I think.
And then
because it's not comedic. I think he does it really honestly, and he says at one point, I think in this scene, that his son was one of the first to die from this sickness. Because I think we've missed, but earlier on, it's ascertained that 12 men have died. That's one a month. So at that point, and then obviously the other Martinus dies. That's 13. So they're knocking them off quite quickly, aren't they, in a small village?
And they think it might be some kind of swamp fever. And this is where the plague element comes in, isn't it? They think that it's an unknown malaise, isn't it? But basically, he was like saying, we're going to get you done for grave robbing. And he goes, you won't mind me open it? And he quickly opens the box and realises there's no body in there. So therefore, I can't be done for grave robbing because there's nothing in there anyway. And he gives them 48 hours to say, okay, I'm not going to nick you for 48 hours if you can work out what's going on. So that's good. James was talking about doing Event Horizon about, you got to get a ticking clock in there. This does it in a much more subtle way than an actual clock ticking away. And then we go back home and Sylvia has collapsed at the door because she's managed to stagger back from her zombie encounter. So,
and finding her old friend dead, basically, as well, isn't it?
Yes. But that's half an hour in, we see our first proper zombie.
Yes.
And it is creepy.
And it's really well done.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I think the makeup's really well done. I think the scream is mad and weird.
Yeah.
And I love all of it.
So then we have the young doctor is told that his wife,
Dr. Thompson,
is actually dead.
Yes.
And amazingly, Sir James says, right, okay, well, we've got to do an autopsy. And Dr. Thompson, the younger doctor, agrees. And what my notes was, it's a bit harsh to make a man watch his own wife's autopsy, isn't it?
Yes. But it's very Victorian, isn't it?
Yes, I guess so. But
come on, stiff off a lip.
Come on, man. You know your internal organs. Come on. Yeah, some of that, isn't there?
Yes, so they do all that, and they find out that she hasn't got rigor mortis.
No, she's still soft.
Yeah. And then something else, but then she's got this cut on her wrist. So this is the kind of implicating, linking thing, isn't it?
There's voodoo at work.
Voodoo.
At work, yes.
Yeah. But then there's a scene where... I've written my notes in the most gibberish way. So they find the body. Yeah, there's a postmortem. The idiot Martinus brother, Reform, is arrested. He's taken in, isn't he? And he's like, I didn't do it, mate. He probably did do it, but he didn't do it.
I didn't do nothing, Gov. Yeah.
Yeah, but then they go back up to the tip. where the not the tip, the pit, to where the wheel is and stuff.
Yeah.
To have this kind of weird conversation about how the squire lived abroad, and you can only think that that's just a bit of exposition, which doesn't need to happen in that location because nothing else happens in that location.
No,
does it?
but they're basically just saying that there's loads of tin here. It's worth loads of money, but there's been a load of accidents, and now
and no one will work down there
because they think it's haunted.
Yes,
and while Clive Hamilton was away, it all kind of fell into disrepair, didn't it? But then when he came back, it's suddenly become revitalised.
Yes. I think they could have done that with a map or something, and it would have made a bit more sense.
But they spent the money on the set, John. They got to use it.
Yes, but it's like, why would they walk up there to have a 2-minute conversation and then all walk off again? Yes. Anyway, thanks for walking up here, guys. Let's walk back to the village now.
Well, you can say it's a scene of where they found the dead body, and they're sort of doing an investigation.
Yes, I suppose so.
And also, one of the things is pointed out, the body is at a different position from where he originally saw it die. So the body, he's been moving around. So that's it.
But she's not a zombie at that point, is she? Are we saying that the zombies have moved her?
Yes, because you saw him carrying her, didn't you? And then he dropped it down into quite a nasty sort of like, she has to roll through a load of rubble, which I think poor Servalan, that would have been quite painful.
Yeah, horrible. So the charming squire then visits Sylvia in the house and does a lot of smoozing. But then what does he do? He does something with a glass.
He asks for a glass of water, and she said, would you like something a bit stronger? And then he smashes the glass, and then when she tries to pick it up, he sort of pushes her so she cuts her hand. And then weirdly like squeezes a load of blood out of her finger to say, it's to stop infection. But he essentially gets a couple of drops. And then you see him hiding, like almost like a full vase of blood. Which next time you see him, it's even got even more blood. So it's got this magical effect that the blood increases more and more each time.
Well, that always happens in horror films. What more do you want?
Do you believe in life after death, Miss Forbes?
That's an odd question.
Odd.
To ask a stranger.
I was hoping that you no longer considered me a stranger.
Very well. Yes, I do believe in life after death. Do you?
I'm sure of it, Miss Forbes. I'm sorry.
But I think that scene works quite well. She becomes kind of entranced, doesn't she? But then she has this kind of weird idea where she basically visits Jacqueline Pierce's body.
Yep.
And then there's a realization that the wound is the same kind of wound.
Yes.
And then it's squeaky bum time then. She's basically like, oh, fuck. Something bad is happening.
And then we have the second funeral. This is the funeral for Jacqueline Pierce.
Yeah.
Where Sylvia becomes a bit faint and gets led away by the husband, who therefore doesn't actually get to see the full funeral of his wife.
Well, he's already seen the autopsy, hasn't he? So come on.
And then so James asks the vicar, "Can I have a look at all your witchcraft books, please?"
This is my favourite bit. This is my note because I put because vicars always have got loads of books on the occult traditionally, don't they?
Yeah.
All
they
country vicars, they should. I agree.
Essentially a big scrapbook with photocopy pages printed into it.
Say, look out.
I think you'll find that's photostated, Cleves.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because my mother, whenever I used to say photocopy, she would say, it's a photostat. And I never knew what a photostat was, so maybe it's a photostat.
Wasn't they one of those things you had to like wind it through? You used to have them at school.
Yeah, maybe.
The copy sheets.
Yes.
And we learn that voodoo and zombies come from, the way Sir James says it, is Haiti, which is wonderful.
I love that.
Haiti.
Was that
which is what it now shall be on this podcast.
No, like literally the other side of the globe, Cleves.
I'm going to look that up because I'm sure he died in Haiti. Where?
No,
Let's find out.
He died off the coast of Australia. He discovered Australia. He's
Hold
from
on.
Whitby.
Hold on.
Hawaii.
Oh, what?
Killed in, I can't say that word, something Bay in Hawaii.
Really?
Yeah, he was in a confrontation with an indigenous Hawaiians.
Mm.
I knew it was.
I thought they ate him.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
I honestly thought that he died somewhere near Australia because he found Australia.
Yeah, but he still went around a bit, didn't he? He went all around the world.
And then he went all the way to Hawaii.
Yeah, I thought it was Haiti, so it was something else with
Close.
H.
H.
Yeah.
In an exotic clime. Yes.
Imagine going all that way in a fucking rickety.
Oh, it's just horrible.
Oh
Anything I read about
God.
long sea voyages back then, it's just
Months
Terrifying.
and months and months and months.
Terrifying. Oh,
just with a load of rats.
Especially if they get stuck in like ice and stuff for like a year. You know, it's just.
Yeah.
That's the terror, isn't it?
Yeah.
The real thing and the TV show, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that happens.
Mad.
Oh,
So, yeah, Hawaii. I mean, Hawaii is quite close to Australia, but only like, I'd say like 2,000 miles away or something. That's
what's
bonkers.
2,000 miles between friends? Come on.
Yeah, imagine doing that in a bloody sailing.
Trimble knows that in the industries we all depend on, where speed counts, every turn matters. Trimble is the technology company that connects your physical and digital worlds, so you can see what's coming, take intelligent action, and get hard work done faster than you ever thought possible. Check them out at Trimble.com. Ready to turn data points into decision points? Turn deadlines into finish lines? And turn possibilities into profits? Then turn to Trimble. Trimble. Confidence at every turn.
The market's uncertain, revenue's tight, and hiring on hold. That's why results-driven companies are using Upwork to keep work moving. Go to Upwork.com today and start hiring proven freelance talent fast. No bulky overhead. No rigid long-term contracts. Just the right expert right when you need them. Work smarter and faster with Upwork. Go to Upwork.com now and find your freelance expert. That's UPWORK.com. Post a job for free and get started today.
Stop settling for weak sound. It's time to level up your game and bring the boom. Hit the town with the ultra-durable LG X Boom portable speaker and enjoy vibrant sound wherever you go. Elevate your listening experience to new heights because, let's be real, your music deserves it. The future of sound is now with LG X Boom. And for a limited time, save 25% at LG.com with code FALL25. Bring the boom. X Boom.
Want to get your hands dirty for a good cause? Volunteer with Gardeneers and help support students in Chicago's South and West Side schools as they learn to grow fresh food, care for gardens, and build healthier futures. No gardening experience needed, just your time, energy, and a desire to help local youth thrive. Best of all, you'll be making a direct impact where it matters most. Sign up to volunteer today at gardeneers.org.
So then I think then they want to... Why do they want to dig up her body again then?
See if she's a zombie, isn't it?
I can't remember. But basically, there's a lot happens, isn't there? So the vicar... And then they go to the grave.
Oh, they go to watch the grave to see if she comes
out.
Yeah.
Right, I see. Then the vicar goes to go home because he's fallen asleep. He is attacked.
Yes.
By the squire, but we don't know it's the squire still in the mask and.
Unfortunately,
robes.
that for me is one of the few minors in this. That sequence was filmed entirely without suspense.
Oh, I love that scene.
But it's not like he's suddenly there. It's like it's really telegraphed, isn't it? But
I love
just
that sequence.
That's all right.
Because all you hear is like clippy cloppy shoes, and it's close ups of people like, yeah. So then basically. They take the vicar home, and then they go back to the grave where the other, the what do you call them? The Blood Brothers have been trying to dig young bloods. They're trying to dig up their floozy, Jacqueline Pierce, but then they're too late. They bugger off, and then this is the sequence where we see her.
The time lapse makeup change, which took me a while. I didn't realise what was happening, but I don't know. Don't know if it's the quality of the print we was watching that, but it wasn't like a Lon Chaney Wolfman change or anything.
No, it looks a lot better on a better print. It's like a dissolve of like different greens, isn't it? and then her eyes open, and then the immortal line, "Zombie!" The best bit of the whole film. Zombie. It's just brilliant. It's such a great film. And then this is...
she starts kind of like lurching towards them, and then this is the bit that we said, and this is the bit that we said at the start. This is the spade beheading bit. And I put, wow, they really went for it. Hammer really went. It's nasty, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is really nasty.
Then the young doctor faints, and then he wakes up, and there's lots of dry ice everywhere. And the decapitated corpse of his wife is on the floor. It's all Dutch angles. And I was like,
yes.
Yeah.
The music for this bit is brilliant. It's the best kind of evocation of dread I can imagine. It's like, boom, 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 boom. I don't know what that is, like a tuba or a really deep brass instrument, and then some really like high notes, and it's just, wow, this is amazing. And that's the best. That sequence is the best part of the film, and I think it's the high point of the film.
The fingers start coming out from the dirt, and all the other zombies start coming out.
Is this the first time that we've seen zombies coming out of the ground like that? I think it might be in cinema that it's the first time that we've seen fingers coming out of soil and stuff. And then they're coming up from behind the graves, and then we see a thing on the floor that says, "With deeper sympathy from the squire," and then I think one of the zombies like treads on that stuff. But then just as the zombie comes and grabs him by the throat,
there's one behind him.
He wakes up screaming. Yes, and it's all been a dream. And fantastic bit of filmmaking. Probably done in half a day by a load of blokes having a fag, probably drinking on the job. I'd say most of them were half cut at this point, weren't they?
Yeah.
I also, as I watched it, I remembered that this was the bit that in our, I always say friend of the podcast, but it's just we love him, Mark Gase's superb History of Horror series that was on BBC 4. This was the sequence that they showed. Well, they showed this at one point, and he says about how this is like one of the first times that zombies had been portrayed like this and things like that, and you know, that sense of dread, and it is really, really good. And I just put, what a dream sequence it turns out to be. It's fantastic.
I really liked it, but I felt a little bit cheated that it was a dream sequence. That the scariest bit in it didn't actually happen. Yeah, which is a shame. It would have been nice if they could have worked out a way of getting this actually into the film.
I wondered if this was one of the first instances of something really scary is happening in the film. Oh, it's a dream.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, it's such a classic horror trope now. But I was thinking, you know,
it is now.
But God. Prior to this, you know, this may have been.
If you think about, I always think about the one at the start of the Star Trek one with the Borg, where Picard is having a nightmare. And he wakes up, but then he's having another nightmare.
Dream within a dream.
Is always, it's like a good double bluff, isn't it? That then a thing comes out of his eye or something, if I remember rightly. So you might be right, James, that it's that kind of waking dream, dream within a dream kind of.
But it's very, very good. Yes.
So, we're kind of rattling towards the
denouement, definitely.
Yeah, exactly. So they find out that Martinus, the idiot reform brother, has left the cell and gone off with the squire. But he cut his hand as well, though. Yes, he's cut his hand as well. And then I have written in this sequence, because then I think Sir James thinks, right, fuck this. I am the British establishment. I'm going to sort these bastards out. So he goes up, and that's when he, again, says, "Hi, E.T." the immortal line. And it's a very good kind of, it's a very good face-off between the two protagonists here. And then,
but then the Youngbloods turn up, and he kind of has to act cool, but still, and he doesn't look scared off. I was thinking,
no,
if I was in that situation, I'd be really bricking it. If those lot.
Yeah, I think he probably was like
a pugilist.
A pugilist, like Southpaw. What's his name? Duke of Malmesbury. Rules or something like that. Queensbury Mouse.
Queensbury, yes.
Yeah. I think he would be one of the. He'd probably like knock them all out, but
probably got a sword inside his cane and stuff. Yeah,
yeah. Then does he leave and break back in?
When they're not looking, he puts the little window open so that he can sneak back in through the window
later,
which is something which later on, when the place is on fire, why don't you just go back out the window?
We'll get onto the fire in a minute, Ross.
Yeah.
But then, yes. So we kind of discover, don't we, that what's happening is, if you hadn't put two and two together by now, is that Clive Hamilton is using the zombies to basically work the tin mine. He is controlling the populace to run this tin mine for him. And we finally get to see, and once again, vibes for me of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Yes.
Yeah. All underground, people being forced to work. And in my notes, I put, this is like my nightmare. You're being forced to go to work after you're dead.
Yeah.
It's like, even the sweet release of death don't get you out of work.
Yeah, I just think it's
good to have a reason for the zombies to be there.
Well, exactly.
Yeah, agreed.
That's the thing you don't get with modern zombie movies is, it's a disease. And that's
it. Yeah.
So
they got the way just to say, they go, well, it could be this, it could be that, but they don't actually say what the reason is. But I like the way that there's someone here is manipulating the corpses.
Yes. There's a thought process behind that,
which is good
situation,
we like that.
Which I think is great.
Yeah.
And it's years before the one with the zombies in the shopping centre. This is
Dawn of the Dead.
This is zombies as capitalism, isn't it? People. Yeah. It's just mindless consumerism, except that here it's kind of like it's been kind of twisted to be the working class of these kind of people who literally have no autonomy or agency whatsoever. They're literally, even when they're dead, we're going to keep the bastards working.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure Gove, Johnson, all those bastards would have been up for that. I mean, the ones that are in the Tory party now, I won't even mention by name, but they would love this kind of idea.
Yeah.
People still working after death.
Yeah. As Boris Johnson said, pre-COVID, let the bodies pile high.
Yeah.
And then make them do some menial tin mining.
Insane.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, basically then, there's a good fight sequence with the kind of leader of the fox hunters. He falls into a fire and gets set on fire.
Great.
But then he also gets stabbed.
Yes.
Awesome.
Which I thought was really quite brutal and cool. And then
I was thinking there's a lot of times in this era where a fight would mainly be down to one person having a knife and the other person trying to stop the knife from into them. So that's something you need to be taught as self-defense in the 90s.
I think this one works quite well, though. Yes. It's better than the usual kind of crap, though, isn't it? Because it's like they do actually look like they're trying to survive rather than just like cutaways to gritted teeth and like sweat and stuff. And then he falls into the fire. His sleeve catches fire, and then he gets stabbed as well. Yeah. And it's like, oh shit!
And that causes the place to burn down.
Yeah.
As a result of that, the fire gets out of hand, though, doesn't it? The fire spills from the fireplace into the manse.
They love to burn down a Seta hammer.
It's a very powerful fire. But I put once again, just like in the Gorgon. This is another Hammer film where fire control is an issue. Yeah. So James does. Whereas in the Gorgon, that guy tried to put out a fire with a bloody broom.
Oh no, the reptile.
The reptile. Sorry, even
the reptile.
In the reptile, they try and put out a fire with a broom. What does Sir James try to do? He's just like the most rubbish attempts at like padding the fire out, and
a bit of blanket or something.
It's probably, no good at all.
A carpet.
Yeah, he starts kicking it.
Panics. That's it. I think he might kick it. And then he's like, I've got to be able I can't get out of here. And he tries the window.
Way you came in.
And I just put, smash the window, Sir James.
Yes.
Just smash the window in. But no.
So the fire then spreads to the desk where all the
voodoo
morphs have been kept in their little balsa wood coffins. So then a really great idea then is the zombies in the pit start smoking and catching fire.
Yes.
And then someone, and I can't remember who, is the daughter taken out at this point?
I think she's been captured, isn't she? Because they're going to be they're going to try and voodoo.
But does she go up in a lift with her father or someone?
They were,
and then they're all stuck.
Fast forward to the end, Ross.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, they're all stuck against the kind of mesh door of the lift.
Yeah,
and then they obviously, the implication is they've all the ones that are alive, as in the fox hunters and the squire, all burned to death with the zombies in the mine.
Very much like the end of the Batman Begins, when the Ra's al Ghul turns up and sets fire to Wayne Manor, and then Bruce and Alfred survive in their lift there, don't they?
Yes, good point.
Yeah, so that's the and then that
they get out and they watch it, but they watch the tin mine blow up, and then
yes. But it's quite sad, really, I think, at that point, that we don't have any then kind of
dialogue.
Just another scene with them.
No coda.
Or with Michael Ripper, or just something that's like... Because I think they're such great characters. They're really well formed for Hammer characters. And we don't get anything.
No.
We literally don't get, oh, I'm glad all that's over.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder when they started to introduce coders to film.
Yeah.
Because it's just like end...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if this was Marvel now, there'd be another 20 minutes of credits,
and then a scene
setting
at the
up
end.
the next film. Yeah. And some people go and watch a 2-hour, 20-minute film to see the end of the film, to see what the next film is going to be.
Yeah.
But with this, sadly, it just
ends.
It just peters out slightly.
Okay, so what do we think of it? What do we think?
Well, I think it's fairly obvious that I think it's the best Hammer film. I think it might be my favourite film we've watched.
Wow.
I'm trying to think. So obviously, what have I scored highly before? The Road?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Survivors?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gave Dracula a 1970, what's it, 4.5?
Yeah.
Whistle I Come to You, 5. Place of Us in the Pit, 5.
I just enjoy these films too much, maybe.
That's great. That's good. Great Mass Experiment, 5.
Oh, Lord. I think for going beyond what the text is, as people say these days, and kind of provoking other thoughts and conversations and stuff, this is a key one for me, especially within Hammer, when you think they probably shot this in like a month, if that, or like back to back with another film. It's just bonkers. And I think that, it's up there for me, definitely with The Road and the other things we've, because obviously The Road was something we've listened to,
but was brilliant.
And so I would say, that for me, this is my favourite film out of what we've watched so far, as a kind of, it's got everything. It's got multiple set pieces where you're like, this all works really well. View to Kill was on today, and I was like, what a film! Set piece after set piece after set piece after set piece, and it works so well. Roger Moore looks ancient. It's all quite ludicrous.
He's in bed with Grace Jones.
He's in bed with Grace, but it works. And you're like, how the fuck does this work? The bit where the cop cars are trying to drive up the bridge. Yeah. And you're like, this works. How did they make this not look stupid? And I think that this film is a bit like that. That despite being probably a rush job that was knocked off in a couple of weeks, it has lasted for 60 years. Because obviously it's 60 years since it was made this year, which is mad. And it was made and released in the same year. Is that right, Cleves?
Let's have a quick look. No, it was released 1966.
Was it? I thought it was...
Yeah.
Right. I thought it came out in 65. I've always thought that, actually. So, yeah, I think this is like a 10 out of 5 for me, really.
Okay.
I don't think... I can't really think of any faults. I don't like the sequence where Sylvia is taken back to the
mansion,
castle, or whatever it's meant to be, mansion, because it makes me feel so uncomfortable. But I think that works as part of a horror film where you have this kind of divide between masculinity and
I think it's
normality.
I think it's done in a way which was they could show it in those times without it being too risque, but it's still as uncomfortable as it was then as it is now.
Yes.
You don't need more.
No, because you know what's happening and you know. But you don't need to see it.
And I think that proves that you don't always need more. It's not always like Hitchcock having to show the woman being raped and murdered. You don't have to show it. You can just hint at it.
Yeah.
And I think for me, I think we've often said on the podcast that this film would be great if it was remade now and blah. And I think this is one of the key ones now, with all the kind of stuff that's going on about the talk about reform, about post-colonial history and all that kind of stuff. This film would be perfect for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I agree with that.
If they did it now, they would be able to actually have some Haitian characters in it. I think for me, that's the only bit which...
Yes.
I know it's hard to mark something down because of the time it was made, but I think if we're marking it up because of the readings modern readings you can put on it today, I think it's fair enough to do that. So I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 only because of I feel a bit uncomfortable seeing black characters dressed in loincloths banging drums.
Oh yeah. 100%. They look like JK or something. It's that is nonsense, and you have got to call that out as being nonsense. But also, it's a film which is less than 90 minutes long, and it's like
gets in, gets out. Yeah,
you can't develop. It has a lot of characters already, so I don't think you can develop more characters.
No, but rather than him reading about voodoo in a book, he could have talked to a character who is being exploited, who can explain what's happening that way.
I think there could be. I think there would be really interesting ways to do that now with kind of like, the history, the seafaring history of Cornwall. You could have a character who had been an enslaved person, who now wasn't, who was freed. I think that would be a really interesting way to explore that kind of scene with, I think that would be really good.
Yeah. Cool.
But obviously in this film, because it's like, their timescales were minuscule, and it was like, write a script, film it, and go on to the next one.
Yeah.
If you look at how many films Hammer released in like 15 years, I don't even know how many it is, but it's nuts.
Yeah.
And those actors were all in other films.
Yes.
At the same time for Amicus and Tygon and, all the other... Fuck knows how they all did it. They must all have just been pissed all the time. or on speed.
So James, what have you given it?
Well, like it's when I give a 5, I tend to like a bit of a philosophical sugar and sprinkles on top, i.e. Survivors, i.e. The Road. So it didn't quite have that, but I will say that it, for me, probably one of the, as out of the three of us, probably the person that enjoys horror the least, I would say to a person, this is one of the Hammers that you should watch. This is absolutely the studio at its best. And
quintessential.
Very, very huge. Obviously, really influential. Does a lot of really good stuff. So for me, can I give it 4.5, Ross?
Of course you can.
Yeah.
So I will give it a 4.5.
And
it's right up there.
And
I thought it was really good.
We've had a couple of our
just to like in Countdown where they say do your working. You can see that my last note I just put brilliant.
Yeah,
that's brilliant. Excellent.
So I mean
Excellent.
it.
So we've had. I asked very quickly. Asked on Blue Sky. We're on Blue Sky we're General Witch on Blue Sky. So come and find us on Blue Sky. But I asked on there just before we recorded people's thoughts. So we had 2 people come back to us. We have Johnny Restel, who said one of their best for me. André Morell, Sir James should definitely have had his own spin-off franchise investigating other paranormal mysteries. And that was what I was going to say, that I feel like this is their some of their own original story. It's not like an adaptation of Dracula or Frankenstein or like that. No. They got their original characters, and I think this is a real waste of some really cool characters who could have gone on to do other stuff, like Captain Kronos. I think.
Well, people always say about that, but I think this is I think this would have more.
You could have
legs.
done more with this, yeah.
Oh, you could have done loads with this.
Yeah. And also Scarlet Vault contacted us. Scarlet Vault do a podcast, which I enjoy.
Ah, yes, I saw them, yeah.
Yeah, and they said, one of the best Hammer horrors. I love André Morell's character in this. It's nice to have an older guy as the hero.
Yes,
so,
agreed.
Yeah. And
also very true.
Now we are all older men.
How old... Just before we go, how old was he in this film, please?
Ooh,
have a look and
let's have a
see.
look.
I'm going to say 52.
I'm going to... It's hard to pin down with ages these days, isn't it?
Well, so he's born in 1909, and the film was made in 1965. So do the math.
Oh,
1965
minus
50.
9.
50. He was 56.
There you go.
That's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, and he looks about 70.
Yeah,
I would say. Do you think 65, 70?
Yeah. I feel like he's like a British Harrison Ford in this.
Yeah. I think you're right. But they could have done stuff like that, couldn't they? With him, the younger Doctor, and his daughter.
Yeah.
Would have been
good.
Really
Triumph.
Really good. Yeah,
Agreed.
really good.
Ross.
And just wasted, sadly.
Agreed. So yeah, anyone out there who wants to pick up the mantle, I think that might be a good writing challenge. These characters won't be in public domain yet, but I'm sure now Hammer Studios are back up and running.
Yes.
Yeah, was it John Gore? If you're listening, John Gore.
Yeah. Get some fan fiction going.
Let's go.
Out there. Get some do some comics. Even I would read those
comics.
Yeah,
that could be good. Ross, I think you should probably also mention, if people aren't on Blue Sky, you can also find us on Instagram now, can't you?
Yes, we're doing. Yeah, I'm doing more on Instagram. I think we're called General Witch One on Instagram. We'll just look up General Witchfinders.
You'll find us
on Instagram. Yeah. Okay, so next time we've got a choice. Okay, so
what does this mean?
Okay, so originally we were going to be doing The Devil Rides Out next.
Oh,
but John is
boring.
So
boring.
But also,
I'm doing you both a favour to say it is one of the most boring fucking films ever made.
But we also discussed maybe doing Flash Gordon. Or I bought a vampire. Or I bought a vampire motorcycle, which is the Neil Morrissey 1980s.
It's got to be Flash Gordon.
The first film I ever saw in the cinema.
Okay, so next time we're doing a little bit of sci-fi, and also one of the scariest things I ever saw as a kid was Peter Duncan putting his hand in that hole.
We can talk about all this next time.
So that has got some horror element, and but that's even though I remember that bit, and I remember a bit when they're playing American football.
Yes,
with something, but I have no memory whatsoever for the rest of the film. So it's going to be like
such a treat.
Okay.
Such Gordon's alive. I'm telling you now, it's a 5 from me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and I think this is one of the first times I already have a copy of this film, so I don't have to seek out a copy of. Oh yeah, hang on. Yeah. Because
Flash. So this is the first film we've done with a Queen soundtrack, is it? Queen?
Yes. But, and also it's Halloween, and we're going to be putting out something which is not horror at all. But so that
he's got it. He's already got
Blu-ray
it.
and yeah,
on Blu-ray, no less.
Max von Sydow.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait.
That would be our October release. Hopefully we're going to get something else in, so we might be able to get something spooky for actual Halloween. But if not, who cares? Yeah,
just a man with a man's courage.
Okay, well, good to have you back, John.
Love like
okay, until next time, everyone. A happy day.
Thanks for listening as always. Take care until next time.
Bye.
Bye. Pop Hoyle.
You have been listening to The General Witchfinders. Support the show and continue the conversation at patreon.com/General Witchfinders. Subscribe and spread the word at generalwitchfinders.com. Farewell, and don't have nightmares.
Trimble is the technology company that connects your physical and digital worlds, so industries like transportation and geospatial can get hard work done faster than ever. Every day brings new challenges, decisions, adjustments, real-time moments that matter. With Trimble on your team, you're in command of purpose-built tech ecosystems and connected solutions that keep work flowing end to end. Turn data points into decision points, deadlines into finish lines, and possibilities into profits. Check out what Trimble can do for you at Trimble.com. Because with Trimble, you can act smarter, move faster, and lead with confidence. Trimble, confidence at every turn.
The market's uncertain, revenue's tight, and hiring on hold. That's why results-driven companies are using Upwork to keep work moving. Go to Upwork.com today and start hiring proven freelance talent fast. No bulky overhead. No rigid long-term contracts. Just the right expert right when you need them. Work smarter and faster with Upwork. Go to Upwork.com now and find your freelance expert. That's UPWORK.com. Post a job for free and get started today.
Did you put my bits on? I did as a voice note.
Yes.
You
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, there we are.
And you launch and you start the episode as well. Talking about the turbo chair.
I don't even know what that is now.
From, do you remember in Event Horizon, Lawrence Fishburne's chair that hangs from the ceiling?
And moves around, and he talks about his turbo chair in the trailer, and you went, did he just say turbo chair?
Does he really say turbo chair?
Yeah.
That's amazing, isn't it? Turbo chair.
Yeah.
That's turbo is one of those words which has come to mean fast.
Yes.
But it is just nothing to do with that. It's a thing that fits onto your exhaust pipe, which has a impeller which is propelled by your exhaust gases.
Like a turbine.
Yeah, it's basically a turbine. Yeah.
Mm.
And then that shoves more petrol into your engine, makes your engine go faster.
Mm.
It's got nothing to. So the result is speed, but in itself.
But you couldn't turbo a chair. You couldn't put one of those on a chair, could you?
Well, no, because it would have to have an internal combustion engine.
Exactly.
And that is a car.
I think you should have your middle name should be Turbo John.
It sometimes is when I go to the toilet.
Right. Should we jump into the podcast?
Yes.
Right, okay, 1 second. There you go.
Oh, what the fuck was that?
That's a cleaver.
That's my farting. I was hoping that didn't get picked up.
It sounded like a fucking Shire horse. Don't put that in the episode.
Okay, all right. So, what's like T Public or whoever they are?
Yeah.
Okay, right. So it's a tarot. It's supposed to be like a tarot card, but like,
Oh, that's good.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I like that. That's very Tales of the Unexpected kind of opening sequence.
And again, it was mega cheap. It was like £9 or something. I was like, oh, I really like that for my loungewear.
And you've got my old T-shirt on there, Cleves, haven't you? The skull with the motor club or whatever it is.
Yeah. I bought the new Taste of Blood of Dracula T-shirt I've designed. I think that came out quite well. So that's
You've bought a T-shirt off yourself?
What I've designed off of our website.
What? How does that work? Well, you've designed a T-shirt and you've had to buy it from yourself.
You have to buy the. You have to buy them. You have to pay for it to be printed. So every time we sell a T-shirt, we only get like £10 per T-shirt. I think,
that is literally the most Ross Cleaver thing I've ever heard. I've designed a T-shirt and then I've bought myself one.
Yeah. Right, James.
And what does it say on it? I am Ross Cleaver.
No, it's just a picture of Big Bruce Lee's face. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Leering.
So back to the endless.
Back to the film. We haven't even started
on yet.
Hopefully they'll be dead soon.
Fingers crossed.
Maybe don't put that line in.
No.
Please. No. No.
Trimble knows that for the work we all depend on, where speed counts, there's no room for mistakes. Every turn matters. Trimble is the technology company that connects your physical and digital worlds across industries like construction, transportation, geospatial, and beyond, so you can get hard work done faster than you ever thought possible. You can check them out at Trimble.com. With Trimble on your team, you're in command of connected solutions to overcome unknowns and keep work flowing. See what's coming. Take intelligent action. Stay on time and budget, time after time, with confidence at every step, every decision, every turn, because work doesn't move in a straight line. Keeping it going requires the agility to adjust. In the field, at the office, on the road, everywhere. When you're ready to turn data into decisions, turn deadlines into finish lines, and turn possibilities into profits, it's time to turn to Trimble. Trimble. Confidence at every turn.
Stop settling for weak sound. It's time to level up your game and bring the boom. Hit the town with the ultra-durable LG X Boom portable speaker and enjoy vibrant sound wherever you go. Elevate your listening experience to new heights because, let's be real, your music deserves it. The future of sound is now with LG X Boom. And for a limited time, save 25% at LG.com with code FALL25. Bring the boom. X Boom.
In too many Chicago neighborhoods, access to fresh food is a luxury, not a given. Gardeneers is working to change that by supporting school garden programs that empower students to grow their own produce, learn about nutrition, and fight back against systemic food injustice. These aren't just gardens, they're pathways to health, education, and equity. Learn how you can help at Gardeneers.org. Let's grow food justice in Chicago together.